I'm teaching my kids maths. I need to give them a neat and well explained proof at why root 2 is irrational, and then need to design exercises for them to do similar proofs for other numbers, other famous irrationals. Tell me the process of proving and how I can also tell it to them in a nice way. And after our first round, also tell me more questions of this kind I can give them. Now watch it think, it'll go back and forth. Uh, so it recalls how all this stuff is kind of, it's still thinking, and then it'll actually also vocal like answer later. And it takes into account that you're talking to the sun and all, and it can go, it can backtrack and stuff also, and it expresses uncertainty about its own beliefs in between, also. uh, and it also takes into account that later you have to teach based on that, so it's also taking into account how that proof will apply to square root 3 and stuff. So it thinking about first session and follow-ups already, uh, and how it can gradually build a curriculum of problems to teach my son. uh, and it's amazing, right? It's just, it's still thinking, and it's writing out its thought. It's almost as if you were thinking. It's like reading your thought stream. That's the beautiful thing. uh, and it's also getting into like potentially odd even problems and stuff like that. uh, it's also thinking about cube roots now, like should do you want to give cube root problems in the future, then we need to adapt our proof to make it more general. Okay, you'll hear me eat noodles because, well, I'm bored waiting for it to think. But it's the thinking is so rich, you know. I mean, you can learn a lot from the thinking. Uh, and it just goes on and on and on. So before there was another model by Alibaba called QWQ. Even that does this, but its thoughts were not so wonderful and coherent and well formatted. This is just fucking magic, man. Honestly. I mean, I haven't. It's almost like meeting the mind of another you, but in text. And then it's writing out the final answer. And this will just be the first answer that the proof of root 2 is irrational, and you can go on and on. So we can next also actually discuss which next problem to tell my son. uh, Let's see, it's thinking again now. And yeah, he's thinking about, I told him about challenging and manageable. So it's also thinking, should I give some fill in the blank questions or something in that 10 part? And this comes exercise 1, prove root 2 is irrational. And it's also telling the solution. I mean, I have to give the problem to my son, right? I told him. So it's not. And this is exercise 1. Exercise 2 is root 5 is irrational. And I mean, you can run this at 2x later when you're watching this, you know. But uh, and the last one is a composite problem, like root 2. So this is interesting, right? Root 8 is irrational. So it's trying to push the limit. Like you want to teach your son challenging stuff. So it's like 2 root 2. It's not exactly like the root 3, root 5 problems. Uh, So yeah, this is you have Pocket AGI. Well, not Pocket. This is still in the laptop, but I mean, people have run it on a Raspberry Pi and stuff. So why not? And additional, it's also thinking about additional practice like root 6, because root 6 is weird, right? It becomes like root 2, root 3. It's not like a root of a prime. So it all, you also get into all that co-prime and like, you know, pair prime kind of stuff. Uh, you see coprimality comes up, and finally this is the magic of running DeepSeek locally. So let me stop this video and let you rest.